Hi everyone, it's day 10 of my challenge. I just got done with my meditation. We slept in this morning, had a wonderful morning together. And the kids, I played with the kids most of the day. So I'm just getting around to recording. I don't like to put limitations on myself or try to put myself in a box because that feels confining to me. And so I am a busy mom. So there's no schedule. Scheduling does not work for me. It makes me feel like I have to there's all of these expectations that I have to meet and I can't do that. And when I feel like I have all of these expectations to meet, I break down, and I feel like I can't do them all. Like it's just too much for me, and I break down and I don't do anything, and that's not really good either. So, that's one thing that I encourage all people to do is realize what feels good in your body to do instead of what someone else tells you that you should do. Business, social constructs. It's so much better to just follow your heart. It feels so much better, and you're going to produce way higher quality things when you're doing that. So I'm kind of in this state of complete bliss right now. A lot has changed. A lot is changing. And there's been this energy flowing up into my body for a week now. And so even though it's you're hearing me process stuff and some of them might be from a certain point of view they would be looked at as negative, but when we open our mind and open our eyes to see the truth of what is being shown and what is coming up, there's nothing to feel is wrong with that emotion. So for instance, I was talking about control yesterday, and my webcam's being all crazy. I'd love to get a new one. But this one's pretty amazing, so I'm not going to complain. But anyways, when... I can't remember what I was saying, but basically it's just, I was talking about control yesterday and how it's starting to flood my life, or I'll cry, or I'll talk about how angry I am, or how much I want to blame, and then I look inside and connect to how I really feel inside, and there's so much out there that says that we shouldn't feel the way that we do, and even to some extent there are the teachings that say that you should feel what you feel is still a method of releasing. And I just feel like for me what has worked is when we have no expectation of releasing, when we're just literally just holding our hand and remaining in that presence. It's so much more powerful. Like within seconds you start feeling relief, and then within hours you start experiencing massive change. And I hope that you could at least see it in me, that things are just changing so much. I am experiencing a lot of fear still, and a lot of sadness, and a lot of what some people would call negative emotion. But what is coming through is this deep, deep compassion for myself during those times that it doesn't even feel like it doesn't even feel like something I want to get rid of. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels almost like I'm just in heaven, like I'm just in so much this land of absolute peace where I could just really sink into being completely okay, knowing that, okay, so I'm scared, but it's all gonna get taken care of, and I'm so today I didn't get to meditate this morning, and last night I had this deep wound can't come up, and I didn't know where it was coming from, and I didn't even really care. It could be from anywhere. And all I knew was that I deeply needed that compassion, and so, I was really nurturing myself in it. And that's when this feeling of just deep compassion set in, and this feeling of feeling so honored came through. And so today, I had worked through all of that last night, or even within the hour before I went to sleep. It was like significant, like 75% better. I felt 75% just from me having that deep compassion for myself and soothing myself and nurturing myself from within. We like to, so many self-love teachings are just like, well, you could take a bath, you could do this, you could do that, and it's all very external. But what I'm experiencing, and I've done all of those things, like even the mantras that they tell you to do, like the I love yous and I am safe, and those are all things that I teach, and those are all things that are definitely very powerful. But what I'm experiencing is just something so deep within me, so deep with connecting to my heart, that it's just like I'm connecting to my heart, and it's flooding through my entire body of deep compassion. And it makes you want to cry, because you feel like you're just being held by this deep, it's so beautiful. And so today I was experiencing a lot of anxiety from my kids, and they were just so demanding of me when I needed to be a lot more present with myself. And it was on another level that I had never really experienced before, even though they weren't like being crazy. They were actually really good kids today. And so it's kind of exciting for me, because I'm hoping, I feel like I'm going to be working through some parenting stuff of mine, and I get to explore what really stresses me out, and what really causes all of the chaos within me while I'm at home with them, and then I get to be there. I get to be so much more present for them, and so I'm actually really excited. But while I was experiencing all of this anxiety, I felt this deep sense of peace within me, and I could feel the difference between the anxiety, like the thoughts in my head, and the anxiety, and like seeing what was within me that needed to be, I needed to detach myself from, and feeling this sense of support, and this sense of peace, and this sense of nourishment within me. And so it was like I made it through the day like it was nothing. Like it was just so peaceful. It was this peaceful anxiety. And it's a very interesting way of putting it. But I'm starting to notice when my body feels something different than what my mind thinks. So last night I had this opportunity, and a lot of fear came up, and a lot of resistance. but my body was excited. My body was saying yes, and I could feel it in my body, but my mind was like, no, 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 no. And, coming up with all of these excuses why I shouldn't take the opportunity, but my body was like overrun with excitement. And when I really connected to my body, I could really feel that. And so, yeah, that's what's going on with me today. And I'm really excited and I'm really happy. And during my meditations, my heart was asking me to be, I had this thought of, well, I just want people to see what I'm capable of. And so I directed it back to my heart. And it was like our heart, and I just realized how much our hearts just want us to see what we're capable of, what it's capable of. Our hearts want to see what it's capable of. And we set these limitations on ourselves, or we try to force or demand or control, or we're needy, or we're demanding, or ungrateful is a big thing. Demanding and ungrateful were the things for me today, and that's how I came up with all of this, because that's how I felt my kids were today. So, and that's what our hearts just want us to see, but we block it with all of those things, and with expectation, and our hearts are just so exciting. Our hearts are just so wanting to emerge from out, and so I hope that you guys can let a little bit of your heart out today, because they, he, she, whoever you are, whatever you identify with, desperately wants to be expressed. And I'm really excited about some stuff that I'm creating that's in the works. I have a new video that's going to be coming out, and I have a video series that I'm going to be doing on a 3-part video series on how to really love yourself, and the depth and the substance of what that really means, and what is really going to work. Because saying I love yous and taking a bath when you're feeling stressed, no, that's not what it's about. Sorry to disappoint you, but it's way deeper than that. But there's a real way to help you. And so please keep a lookout for all of that stuff. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.